you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio Traffic Update.
Hello. Y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell, and you are watching Amplifying Your Impact, AI for Everyone and Living Powerfully with AI. And when I say AI for everyone, like I said, it is AI, amplifying your impact. It's about amplifying your intent, amplifying your imagination, y'all. And today we're also going to talk about living powerfully with AI. So we are going to have some tools, a tool, my favorite solution actually. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So we're going to divide the show into two halves. The first half is really the most important. I think it's like one of my distinctive competencies. It's one of the things that I love to do most is make sure we center everything we do around you, around the goals that you want to accomplish. And let's see. Okay, I see some things. I think I'm good. Okay. So what I want to share are two things. So the first half of the show is we're going to focus on you and creating a space where you thrive. So I'm trying to put this presentation in, the one that says, May the 4th be with you. Today is May the 4th. May the 4th. So the second presentation, I'm trying to see if I can get my producer to help me add this into the show. There you go. Thank you so much. I don't think I'm logged in so that I can change visual. So I guess we're going to just go with this for now. I guess we're going to go with, can you make us the same size? Make me a little smaller and the slides a little bit bigger. Okay, that works. So hey y'all, that works. Hey y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell. Today is May 4th, so I had to put this May the Force. The Force is with you. So not May the Force be with you. I wanted to start declarative. The Force is with you. So consider this a master class, right? In the beliefs, right? In what focus and building the life and the business of your dreams. What does that look like? It's really about the impact that you were meant to create. I'm not playing when I say I'm here to support you in real work, creating the life of your dreams. So the Force is with you. So this is a quote, obviously, may the Force be with you. So today's May 4th, and whether you're into Star Wars or Star Trek or any of the things, right, we all recognize one thing, that there is a power. It's available to all of us, right? And there's a power within us that we really never fully access. So today I want to talk about that power, and I don't want to talk about it philosophically, right, but practically, how you actually use, right, the what you use and how you use it to build the life of your dreams, to build a business of your dreams, and to build the impact that you were meant to create. So I call this Jedi training. I've always said that, like when crazy things are happening and crazy people are showing up, and I'm like, ooh, I get to choose joy despite this shenanigans, right? And there's a lot of crazy happening in the world. I think we can all agree on that. And Jedi training is really being calm in the middle of a storm, being grounded when shenanigans is happening around you, right? That's really a superpower, right? And it's not just from a technology perspective. So technology isn't about the tools. I'm talking about the brain. Our human mind is something far more rare, right? And it's far more powerful than any tool or any form of technology, which is why I always say amplifying your impact first. And of course, there are tools and technology that can help us and solutions that can help us deliver our impact even faster and better, for sure. But if you don't have yourself grounded, amplifying impact, amplifying whatever you got going on, it could be amplifying your own random thoughts, right? We got to get you clear. We got to help you to choose joy deliberately. Even when crazy things are happening, you get to choose joy. So the ability to find joy and to hold on to that joy, even when circumstances don't suggest it, is a logical response. That's Jedi training. That's a Jedi superpower. Staying calm in the middle of a chaotic situation, staying calm around chaotic people, not letting crazy people, right, make you crazy. That is a Jedi superpower. And I can say I've had some Jedi training with some crazy people, and I'm like, ooh, I love it. Like I don't love the situation. But I do. I'm grateful for the way I've shown up and the ability to stay true to myself and true to what we know to be, right. And also, I think what Jedi training also is critical is allowing us, or you choosing to stay on mission. Again, there's so many distractions, right? Become laser focused on what truly matters, even when distractions, right, are elsewhere. Distractions are everywhere. You get to stay laser focused. So this is what I call Jedi training. It's a superpower, right? This is all about leadership, legacy leadership, right? In today's world, it's rare, but it doesn't have to be. These are choices. I always say decisions determine your destiny. So these are decisions that we get to make. And again, when I say amplifying your impact, AI for everyone and living powerfully with AI, first and foremost, it's amplifying your impact. So being able to do these things, stay calm in the middle of chaos, choose joy, stay on mission, critical for you to be successful. Critical. Now, the world that we're operating in, the reality is there is constant noise from our cell phones to our, whether it's social media, there's all kind of distractions, constant uncertainty, right? And the world stage right now, the national stage, locally, it's crazy how many distractions exist. That's our reality, right? But in the middle of it all, yet and still, you still have a decision to make. Remember, decisions determine our destiny. So the questions that really matter is, what am I here to create? And if you haven't asked yourself that question today, reminded yourself, if you already know the answer, this is what I'm here to create. And I'm not going to let A, B, or C distract me from that, right? What impact am I here to make in the world, right? Who do I choose to be regardless of what is happening around me? Do you love that one? Who do I choose to be regardless of what's happening in the world around me? These aren't, rhetorical questions either. These are the foundation to you living your best life, to living powerfully, to literally achieving the life of your dreams. So there is science behind this, right? And I think we've had this conversation before when I talked about faith. And I said faith is, it's your beliefs. Like, who do you believe you are? It's not about the spiritual side of faith, although I am spiritual. You don't have to be. The science around beliefs, right? Tell the story for you. If you believe that you can be successful in something, your brain is going to filter out the things that would make you unsuccessful. Does that make sense? So believing in a thing, believing in your own success, believing in the possibilities, wholeheartedly believing in it, that is number one. Like, your beliefs lead to your thoughts and your feelings, right? All those things have to line up in order for your actions to change. A lot of people just jump into, I got to do something different. Well, it ain't. Your beliefs always are the foundation. So I say they're the foundations, or you can say they're the roots, but they're also the first thing you got to attack when you're really trying to do transformational work. And I am a certified transformational coach in multiple disciplines. I don't need to go through it. Most of you guys know this already. But this is really about, process. It's the science behind it. Human behavior and success, it is not random, right? There is a process, and I'm just encouraging each of you to make sure you're comfortable and grounded on your beliefs. And if your beliefs and your actions are not aligned, that's, we talk about, having, consistency, right? Being aligned, showing up so that your actions align with your words, right? But your beliefs are the fundamental foundational element that allows you to truly get to the outcomes that you desire. So, you're like, this is supposed to be about AI. Again, this is about amplifying your impact. This is how we amplify your impact. Then I promise you, we're going to talk about Marbleism for the second half of the show. I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite AI solutions, and it's incredible. So just going to be a little brief intro. But I have to start here because I feel like so many people are not, I know for a fact. I just heard from a lady who's been in business for 30, 40 years, and honestly, and wants to continue to do things exactly the way they've been doing them. It's not going to lead to the success that she desires, and I'm concerned, honestly, that it's going to reflect on our community, right? We can't. If we know better, we got to do better. Period. So I show up here saying, we know better, guys. Let's do better. Let's show up in excellence. Okay. So here's a little bit of wisdom. I call it community wisdom, right? That backs the science. I said this, I've shared this quote before, but Henry Ford, made this quote, and it was like, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. There's various iterations of that, but like I said, the science behind it says, if you believe you can accomplish a task, do a thing. If you believe that everyone is against you, that too is true. But if you believe everyone is for you and everything works out for your good, that too is true, because your brain is going to filter out the things that are not aligned with your beliefs. That's why beliefs are so critical. Your brain will filter out the things that you don't believe are true, regardless of what the truth is. I think I also put a quote in my last week's session when I said, the world isn't, you don't experience the world the way it is. You experience the world the way you believe it is. Does that make sense? So if you believe people want you to be successful, then you're going to experience a world where people want you to be successful and good things happen to you. If you believe that everyone's against you, once again, you're going to filter out the good things and you're going to see the negative things. And God, it's a different experience. It's a different lived experience. I know everything works out for my good, even the crazy and the shenanigans. Zero doubt. So again, whether you think you can accomplish a thing or you think you can't, you're right. That's about beliefs. Wayne Dyer also said, when you change the way you look at a thing, right, at things, the things you look at change. So again, if you change what you believe to be true about your life and about a situation, about the people in your life, about whatever your goals are, when you change how you believe and you wholeheartedly believe it with everything within your soul, right? That's when those accomplishments happen. And this isn't meant to be a motivational, fluff. That's not what this is about. This is how transformation works, right? Validated both, through timeless wisdom, but also modern behavioral science. This is the neuroscience of the brain. We talked last week or a couple weeks ago about the reticular activator. It's like every human being has that. That is a fact. We do not experience the world the way it is. We experience the world the way we believe it is. Now tell me that is not powerful. Because again, two people can have different experiences. They believe different things. They're having the same, they just experienced the same thing, but they have a different lived experience, right? Because of what they believe. Hello. Remember, choosing joy. These are options. So I mentioned this as well before, the 3 F's framework, my Living Powerfully framework, around this idea of how do you boldly execute the life of your dreams, right? How do you turn an idea into true results? It's 3 F's. I call it faith, focus, and follow through. Faith is like what you believe. What do you believe is possible for you? Who do you believe you are? Like the identity. That's part of it. And then the expectations, right, that you have for yourself and for your life. That's critical. And you may not have thought about your beliefs in a way that allows you to really write them down. But again, beliefs are like the wind. So you may not have seen them, right? Like you can't actually see the wind. But I'm looking out this beautiful window, and what I can see is leaves moving. Well, that means I know the wind is there. So what you look at in your life is, recurrences, patterns that show up in your life. And then you get to decide, okay, yikes. Maybe I keep dating the wrong kind of guy, or maybe I believe that men are some negative thing that you believe about men, right? Those are patterns because it's linked to your beliefs. So even a different human being, right? You're gonna filter out the good stuff. You're gonna create the reality that you believe, because that's how beliefs work. Okay, so I'll move on to focus. Again, this really is about choosing to give what you give your attention to. And you have to ask yourself, what am I choosing to give my attention to? Am I really watching all the distractions on the news? Am I really spending a lot of time on social media? Is that, and if that's aligned with the goals that you have in your life, great. If not, it's a distraction. It is a distraction. So it's important for you to be deliberate and to choose to ignore certain things that maybe other people are like, oh, I watch this show all the time and I watch all the things and I go on social media. You don't have to be like anyone else. Again, remember, Jedis are unique beings and they train every day and every way around people and human beings, right? You get to train your Jedi superpowers. So, but really, so that's in how you believe and how you show up and the joy that you bring to every situation. But the activation is really the follow through. It's the steps that you take. It's the actions that you take. So beliefs are important, but execution is the bridge from your ideas to your reality. You still got to take the steps. You can believe a thing and then don't take action, and guess what? You don't accomplish the goals that you desire. It is pretty simple. Okay. So this is the critical mistake that most people make, and it is a common trap, right? A lot of people, especially in this day of technology, a lot of people start looking for tools before they have clarity about what they are meant to do in this world. They have clarity about their true vision, right, and what they want to accomplish. So they adopt these new platforms, they buy these new systems, they pay for technology, hoping that the tool will in some way fix the underlying disorder, and it never does. If you're not clear what you want to accomplish, if you don't have clarity there's no tool that is going to fix that for you, right? The amplification is the truth. That's what happens, right? So if any tool that you bring into your business will amplify what's already there. So if you have clarity, it's going to amplify your clarity. So that's why I like to pause and spend quality time getting clear on what impact are you trying to make, but and what does your team currently look like, right? It's important to also understand their beliefs. The structure is important too, right? If you have structure, it's going to scale your structure even faster. But guess what? If you have chaos, and you don't even recognize it as chaos, but things are just random. Things don't work out. So you may not know it as chaos because that may be all you know, right? And I think that's the thing that I really want to support people with. If you think it's not chaos and everyone around you thinks it's chaos, it's chaos. Does that make sense? Your definition of chaos is really, how do people experience you? And I had someone tell me that when I was in corporate. A business coach, Kim Smith, actually was the first person who used that exact language. How do people experience you? And she said, Traci, you are brilliant. You're a fast talker. You know, how do people experience you? You want to make sure, she's like, fortunately you have these positive traits that counteract the fact that you move so fast, but you want to make sure you're zeroed in on how people experience you. That changed everything for me. It actually it made me pause to make sure, that I was clear how people experience me, right? And so that's important to really, before you start talking about tools and technology, etc., you need to be aligned. You need to make sure your goals are aligned, your vision is clear, and then only then will any tools or technology help you to achieve the goals that you desire. So I like to say this is the strategy and the process that I leverage. It's like from alignment to amplification. So I literally changed the name of my business to Amplifying Impact, right? I said AI for everyone and living powerfully with AI. Amplifying Impact becomes before the actual living powerfully with AI. Living powerfully with AI is about the tools and technology. Amplifying Impact is about you. That's about you. What is your impact? What is the intent? What is your imagination? I like to re-spark your imagination. What are the things that you hope to accomplish? And then we'll get aligned on those things. And once you're clear on your vision, right? Once you're grounded in your beliefs, once you're focused on what truly matters to you and to your business or to your family, or however, you could be a professional who's like, I need to improve the relationship that I have with my child. We can help you with that. AI can even help you with that. It's shocking how cool these resources can be. But you first got to be clear what's most important to you, what really matters, and then, and I say then and only then, can tools do what they're meant to do, right? Amplify your impact. But again, I invest time, I hold hands, I offer you I call them a D&C. It's a discovery session and a consultation, and I call it a complimentary amplifying your impact assessment. And it happens as a part of a discovery while I'm asking you questions and I'm doing a consultation and I'm seeing, opportunities. And there are various tools, right? One of my favorite, like I said, is called Marvelism, and I'll tell you all about it. If you go to Marvelism, ai.marvelism.com, you can enter my code. It's Dr. Traci, and TRACI, and you get 25% off Marvelism. And I'm not selling anything, but it's so cool. It's such a cool tool. Some tools are free. This one is not, but it's like $200 and something for the year. And you get 25% off for life, not just like for the first year and then it doubles because you're falling in love with it and it doubles. No, that does not happen. So this is what I love about the work I'm doing, is really helping people for free. And I have Marvelism. So if you want to leverage and see how it works and let me help you do some things, I'm happy to leverage my tool to support you so you can see what it looks like and how the type of benefits and improvements that I've seen in my life and for my business and how it could support you. So I'm 100% open to that. So again, the moving from alignment to amplification is about getting clear on your vision and your values and your mission, right? Making sure all that is locked, and then getting grounded on your belief and your focus, really calibrating on that daily. I say daily, like not once a year I've decided over here and then you let all these things happen and you look up, you're like, oh my God, it's May 4th and I haven't done anything aligned with my goals, my true vision for 2026. Well, that's because we need to pause and help you get clarity. We would need to create a clear plan so that you're activating daily, right? One little thing a day, align with your goals. That's how you get to the next level. That's how you get multiplied, right? That's how we can introduce tools. Once you get clarity and once you get grounded, we can introduce tools that don't just support you, but they multiply your efforts. They streamline your efforts. They create a space where you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I could get all these things done. And one of them, it's not like a tool, it's a solution, like these AI employees. That's what I love about it. So it's like the next level of AI. It's the most human-centered AI. It's very, very, very cool. So I'm going to keep talking. Okay. So the power line. This is the power line that I want you guys to carry forward in this conversation that we're having today. And then I'll talk solutions during the second half of the show. I'll talk about Marvelism and introduce you to Marvelism during the second half of the show. Again, it's a resource that's available and it's incredible. I'm actually going to offer it to Tony, who owns Rainier Avenue Radio, and I'm showing up on community radio because our people can't be left behind in this AI world. I'm bringing this to I think tomorrow I'm presenting it to the board of AWA, the African American Writers Alliance, an organization that's been around for 35 years. And they've been doing what they've been doing, but fortunately, praise God, the founders are like open, and some of the founding charter members, I guess they call themselves, are open to having conversations about doing things differently. Yes, we've been around for 35 years, but I'm open. So Dr. Georgia McDade and I had a conversation with Rajni. I forgot his last name, but he's the current president. And Dr. Georgia McDade has been around in community for decades. And she has these amazing stories. I interviewed her live last Thursday, and I can't wait to introduce them to Marvelism. Like, we have to present it to their board and go through that process, but it's when something can help your people, it's like I'm so excited to be able to help my people, like with simple tools that are absolutely inexpensive, and that, like I said, I would like ChatGPT, for example. If people don't have at least the free version of ChatGPT, I would recommend they get it. I recommend the $20 a month version. We ain't getting nothing. I'm not getting nothing for that, right? But I recommend that because it's more powerful, right? And 100 different reasons. But it's important for us to, and I got 2 minutes before I have to go to break. I want to clarify this through line here. Tools do not create your transformation. It's about aligning with people using the right tools that actually create the true transformation. So you really have to ask yourself about your business and what do you want to do? What if you had a team that was working for you 24/7, that was handling the operations, most of the operations, that was handling the marketing, that was handling your follow-up, that was building content without adding any overhead and $0. You pay one time and you have employees that you train, right, to work for you 24/7. Their tagline is, we don't sleep, we don't forget, and we don't stop. Come on now. Come on now. How do you not get excited about that, right? So that's what we're going to talk about during the second half of the show. And that's alignment, right? That's using the right tools to make possible your dreams. So I couldn't be more excited. I'm going to stop this particular presentation. You can go ahead and make me full screen. Thank you so much. So we're going to go to break in about 1 minute. And so what I want you to do when I come back, I'm going to have another slide presentation up that's going to provide you with an actual solution. I'm going to introduce you to how you can amplify your impact, how I'm amplifying my impact. And then next week, I'm going to walk you through the onboarding process. So we're creating videos so that you can take your time and onboard. Because again, if you're successful, then I'm successful. If you're not successful, then part of my purpose in life is to help my people, that's all of you, to amplify your impact. So are there tons of AI tools? Yes, but we're not talking about all the tools. All you need is what can you leverage? And this is just one. This may not be the one for you, but if anything I'm saying that I'll show you when we come back from the break, if anything that I'm saying is get you excited, like, oh, that would be cool. Oh, really? It is free? Basically, no, just like it is. So it's exciting. So I'm excited because I get to show you how we can truly help you create the life of your dreams. Like, with AI employees that you direct, that you correct, that you amplify, that you fuel them so they look like you, they sound like you, right? Not clones. I'm not talking cloning. I'm talking about having people do things that you don't want to do anyway, right? Answering emails and clearing your emails and booking meetings and like the stuff that your executive assistant could and would and should do. A social media manager. So it's really cool stuff. Whew. I'm going to stop talking now. We're going to go to break and I'm going to come right back and then I'm going to talk about amplifying your impact and I'm going to bring forward what I call Marbleism magic. So stay with us. I'll be right back.
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue Radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at rainieravenue.radio.world. Are you in need of new or gently used clothing? Hope's Community Closet is here to help. We offer a wide range of clothing for men, women, youth, children, and infants. Join us on the fourth Saturday of each month from 12:30 to 4 at the Silent Task Force. We're giving clothing with care, community with heart. Lovely Ladies Lemonade for sale and shop to the sound of old school soul. Any questions? Contact Alicia Kennedy, Executive Director of Women United at 206-316-7601. 206-316-7601. Come and find the perfect outfit for you and your family. We look forward to seeing you there.
Fellas, your mental health matters, and it's time we talked about it. Join us every Monday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time on Rainier Avenue Radio for the Men's Mental Health Show. Real conversations, real stories, real tools to help you navigate life's challenges with strength and honesty. Whether you're tuning in from the car, the gym, or your couch, this is your space to breathe, learn, and grow. That's Mondays at 5:30 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio, where men's voices and men's wellness take center stage.
Women Empowerment Talk Radio, your community connection to business success. Tune in weekly to RainierAvenueRadio.world. Listen and learn from local and national guest speakers, providing resources and knowledge for the everyday business owner. Women Empowerment Talk Radio, weekly on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Sediment cleanup of the lower Duwamish River has begun. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the members of the Lower Duwamish Waterway Group, which includes King County, the City of Seattle, and Boeing, have begun sediment cleanup of the Lower Duwamish Waterfall Superfund site. This important environmental project will address sediment pollution and help restore the health of the Duwamish River. Starting in the waterway's upper reach, construction activities extend from the South 102nd Street Bridge down straight to the Duwamish Waterway Park. Over the next 3 years, in-water activities will occur from October to February, ending in February 2027. Visit ldwg.org to learn about the upper reach cleanup and sign up for email updates.
Rainier Avenue Radio.
Hey, y'all. This is Dr. Traci Harrell, and I am so glad to be back. The second half of the show, you're here watching Amplifying Impact, AI for everyone and living powerfully with AI. And I always say it's two sides of the same coin, right? But you can't just jump to the tools and the technology without really embracing and understanding the importance of what it means to amplify your impact. So I think that's the thing that makes me unique and make my contribution to the world unique, is I'm saying I went through this whole certified AI business consultant process 2 years ago, right? And I love the concept of having all these tools and all these possibilities. At some point, you got to just kind of zero in on, specific opportunities that can elevate the life of those people who you were meant to serve. And that's really where I'm at right now. I'm very, very comfortable that there are some tools, right? And one I'm going to talk about today is called Marbleism. Tools that can actually help to amplify your impact. So we spent the first half of the show talking about what it means to amplify your impact. We talked about what it means for you to believe that it's possible, leverage the science of neuroscience of the brain that says if you believe something's possible, it will be possible. But no technology is going to work if you don't truly believe, right, that you were meant for greatness. And I'm telling you right now, not only were you meant for greatness, you were meant to go through life being successful without being stressed out, right? How many of you feel stressed out? There's just too many things to do. Well, guess what? How many of you have said, boy, I wish I could hire, right, an executive assistant, or I wish I could hire a social media manager, or I wish I could hire a sales manager. You know what? I really need a receptionist, right? All of those things. That's what we're going to talk about today, is a tool called Marbleism, which is the human-centered AI tool on the planet, right? Right now, they have done some things that no one else has done, right? It's human-centered AI. It's not ChatGPT. That's a level where you enter some information and you get a response back. It's not even an agent, which is just some automation. It's beyond an agent, right? It is like I said, it's human-centered AI solutions that work together, have specific roles, and we're going to talk about who they are and what they are and how they can benefit you. So we're going to bring up this presentation. It's called Amplifying Impact with Marbleism Magic. I'm going to ask my producer to do that. I don't have access to do so. Awesome. Yay. So this is probably my favorite part of the day, because I get to pause and slow down and say, again, this isn't just about mindset. This is also about finding the right solutions that can support you in creating the life of your dreams, but also creating the impact that you want to create in the world. So my business is called Amplifying Impact, right? AI for everyone and living powerfully with AI. So there's two sides to it. I'm a transformational coach, but I'm also AI business consultant. So, I got to combine the two of those things. Amplifying Impact is about you. It's your mindset. And now we get to use Marbleism Magic. So I'm going to introduce you to Marbleism. And yes, I am a partner. I guess partner is probably the wrong word. I've an affiliate. That's probably the right word, in the sense that I am someone who promotes Marvelism, and I love Marvelism. Y'all already know I wouldn't promote it if it wasn't amazing. Just saying. Like, I gotta talk about, you gotta talk about AI tools if this show is about AI. This just happens to be one of my favorite ones. And so I can offer you a 25% discount on the posted rates, which is the highest that anyone can offer. And I'm super proud about that, because it's like, okay, so it's like a 200 and something dollar purchase for a year of using 5 employees. So let me show you how freaking amazing this is. Now, what I do is I help with implementation, and that is not included because that we're talking about Marvelism insight. But I'm also going to do that for free right here on this show every week, right? So I'm going to connect with you if you have questions. I'm going to also create a whole series of master classes. So, because I need for people to at least be doing this when it comes to AI. You can't do all the things. I get it. It's too much. But you got to at least leverage AI employees, right, to help you to do the work that you want to do anyway. So it's like you are allowed to have peace and joy. This is how we're going to get there. So what I love about these AI employees, you see that statement at the bottom? It says, we don't sleep, we don't forget, and we don't stop. Now, come on, who doesn't need some employees that don't forget, don't sleep, and don't stop? I do. And they're wonderful. Okay. So here's a little bit about Marvelism. I'm going to have you make the slides a little bit bigger and me a little bit smaller. Thank you. That's perfect. So this is a quick overview. This is what I'm going to do in this presentation for the second half of this show. And hopefully I'll get through everything, but I promised myself that I would not talk fast because I do get super excited about this stuff. So we're going to talk about what Marvelism is, and it is an AI workforce. And I'll talk more about that. Then I'm gonna introduce you to your AI workforce, and I'm gonna talk about each of the 6 AI employees. And it's one system. They all work together. It's amazing. It's magic. It is magic. I'm telling you. Like, if all the things I've used, because again, you don't want a bunch of tools. You need somebody, some things that you're pouring into, so they get to know who you are. Stay with me here. They understand your business. The more you pour into them, they don't forget. Are you with me? They don't sleep and they don't stop. Come on. Come on. How many times have you done something, a little prompt in ChatGPT? You got something, but it ain't doing nothing. It's not taking actions. Each of these employees take specific actions that you won't have to, right? Things that maybe you haven't done in the past. So it's very exciting. Okay. So I'm going to talk about what Marvelism is. I'm going to talk about the workforce. There's 6 AI employees, and we're going to go through them and talk about roles. And I may even get to go into some use cases. So we're going to roll on. Okay, so if you had to ask yourself, what is Marvelism? It is an AI digital workforce. You get 6 specialized employees, but they're AI fueled workforce. They're all built to automate repetitive business tasks. So things that you need to do that you don't really have to do anymore. It's like, AI is here, and if you're not using it, know that your competitors are. And so we're going to be at a disadvantage if we're not. So I'm bringing you the most human-centered AI tool that is available today to help business owners and professionals create the life of their dreams. It's amazing. So there also is a seamless integration with your workforce. So these employees have specific tasks, and they can also talk to each other, right? They connect with each other. So they work with your tool. So if you already have Gmail or Outlook or whatever you already have, they're going to work with you and with your existing tool. So it's a seamless integration. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. Here is your workforce. So your AI workforce consists of 6 employees, each with a distinct role. So the first employee, and again, I say first, but you can literally onboard these employees in any order based on the needs of your business, right? Eva is your executive assistant, and we'll talk more about each one of them later. I'm gonna read left to right. Eva is your executive assistant. Rachel is your receptionist, and this is the order that I am going to present it to you all as I move forward, right? I'm going to do some onboarding and some other things in later sessions. But Eva is your executive assistant. Rachel is your receptionist. Sonny manages your social media. He's a social media manager. Penny is a blog writer. So say you're trying to become a known expert in a particular topic, she's going to help you write blogs and posts and things that you can put online so that people are like, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Stan is the one who's going to help with sales, and that's the ka-ching, right? That's the dollars flowing in, and clearly we want that. And then Linda is known as a legal assistant, but she does really cool things like proposals and agreements. And if you're in business, right, or if you're a professional, these are the kind of things. And some people have a little side gig and they're like, I don't have a whole lot of time. You definitely, if you're a professional and you're thinking about doing something, you definitely want to get this started for sure. And you want to leverage these resources. Okay. So I'm going to now go deep into these 6 employees, and they're part of your team. You get to have conversations with them. It's so beautiful and it's fun. Aren't they cool looking? Aren't they cool? Okay, so I'm going to start with Eva. So Eva is employee number 1. She's your executive assistant. She does a couple of things really well. So she's focuses on your inbox, your calendar, and communications, right? So remember how we were talking about faith, focus, and follow through, and I was like, you got to spend your time in the place where you're most passionate and where you're going to get the most value. Eva helps to protect your focus, right? So you don't have to look at the 500 emails that have come in, 250 of which are marketing for something that you don't even need to take a look at. She's going to review all of your emails and tell you where you at and what you need to focus on. And when something hot comes through, she's going to let you know that as well. So Eva is my favorite. So I'm going to have to start with her. So we'll talk a little bit more about Eva. So for each of these 6 roles, I'm going to identify what their role is and what their core responsibilities are. So Eva's role is inbox control. Her calendar is her priority. And she's going to help filter your attention. So she's cool, right? Her tone is very proactive. She's very efficient and she's very organized. You do have to provide her with some insight. So that's where, I come in, or the onboarding is relatively simple as well. But I like to take it to the next level, because you can onboard these employees in minutes, literally, with just basic information. But that's not how you get the most out of them, right? You want to make sure, like I said, I'm a consultant and that's part of the work I do, but I'm also going to show you how to do it here for free. That's why you got to stay tuned to Rainier Avenue Radio, because everything I'm doing here that I'm sharing with you, I charge for this, and I'm telling you guys all about this because I want you to take advantage of it. Okay, so this is free. So her core responsibilities are, she's going to triage your inbox. So she's going to sort it by urgency. She's going to sort it by priority. She's going to surface messages that require your action. She's going to have to help to coordinate your calendar, move things around if need be. She's going to schedule meetings and reschedule meetings. She's going to track all kind of follow-up. Man, how many of us got follow-up lists and follow-up lists and follow-up lists? Eva's going to take care of that for you. She's going to follow up. She's going to be able to take care of so many things that you used to have to do. You won't even have to use a mental resource anymore. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. Okay. Now from a practical term, if you're like, so tell me more, like what's the business value and who does she collaborate with? So you can save approximately 10 hours a week. So 5 to 10 hours, depending on how much you do already and how many emails you currently get. But you can expect to have 0 missed opportunities. And I think that's the thing that really most of us most of us don't think about, are these opportunity costs. Like the priority is so important because she's going to surface those priority emails. So you won't miss opportunities anymore, right? So she's going to summarize your inbox. She is going to make sure the highest priority items are addressed. And Eva naturally and automatically works with Stan. So because again, she emails things out, and Stan is your sales manager, and there's all kind of follow-up that happens there. And then you also have Rachel, who is your receptionist. And so when there's customer responses that come in between Rachel and Eva, they can send emails back out to customers, right? To people, or to prospects even. So this is important to know, that these employees they each have their role, but they work together. It's magic. I call it marvelous and magic. I'm allowed to say that because it really is. And I know technology. So here's what's important. No matter where you are in the process, and I wrote this up for a reason because I work with people that are in all of these stages. So everyone can benefit. Whether you're a beginner and you just want to get your inbox organized, and you want someone to help you with follow-ups and to do it for you, to send emails. Not, they won't send it without you knowing, but they will prepare drafts and make sure you don't miss things. Intermediate level user would be able to leverage even more of these auto responses, right? And an advanced user will have just minimal input to their communications in general. So I could come back and cover the real world use cases later, but right now, if you're missing deals, and I have other use cases. After Eva, your priority emails are surfaced. I'm going to make it real for you. The follow-ups are happening unscheduled. They're not waiting for you. How many of us feel like we're the roadblock of stuff getting done? Not anymore, because Eva's got you. Conversations and conversions, right? They happen way faster. They're talking about like up, they're up. Within 30 days, your conversions are up because you're following up. Things are just happening quicker. So it doesn't matter where you are in your business, where you are in your technology journey, where you are in, right? Everybody can benefit, and there's different success levels. That's why I offer my complimentary Amplifying Impact assessment, because again, it's different for each person based on what you're trying to accomplish, based on where you are, based on your team, and if it's just you, right? Being able to work through the process so it looks different and it feels different for each person, but it's a real deal. Okay. So I'm not going to get to all of these employees today for sure, because this is employee number 2. And her name is Rachel, and you can name them whatever you want. Like I actually installed one for someone, and we called her Imani. So her real name is Rachel. She's like your front desk experience. So we call her, she's an always on receptionist. So she's a 24/7 receptionist. And what I love about Rachel is, again, we're going to talk about her identity and her role and then her core responsibilities. So she's going to offer warm support. So she's a specialist. She's always on. She's going to handle your client. She's going to offer faster responses to requests that come in, and she's going to help route them to the right person. Her tone is friendly. She's responsive. She's helpful. And keep in mind, you can set her up in minutes, but to make it extraordinary and exceptional, that's where the extra work comes in. That's why my role as an AI business consultant is helping to understand your business, helping to understand your process, showing you how and where these roles and how they will benefit your organization or your business or your life, right? Okay. So her core responsibilities are to answer questions. Right? She's going to do it prompt. She's going to do it professionally, and she's going to make sure you know what's happened. So it's happening. You get to listen to the calls. You get to see a transcript of the calls, right? The client communications, they're clear, they're on brand, and you get to modify it along the way. And some people don't like AI, and I get it. Some people are like, I don't want to deal with AI. But again, you get to create a space where call it a hybrid situation. So say you have this AI receptionist answering calls, but you're like, if this happens, if someone mentions something, right, that is manager, then the call goes directly to you. Or if they mention, catering, for example, and you're like, okay, I need to make sure I catch all of those calls. So that's another thing. That's another space where, she has automatic routing based on what the customer's asking. And then what I love most about these, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. I'm going to move to the next slide. So Rachel, her business value is this. So you can have you offer your customers a premium experience, right? You provide information about your business so she can always be on 24/7. So you never miss a call, you never miss a follow-up. And again, if you're hoping to have someone who is gonna be responsive, that's how we fine tune it over time so that it is optimal. Like you can have basic information that's on your website, and she can give it to people pretty easily, right? But again, there's beautiful ways where you can move to the next step based on someone's call. What are you going to do next, right? So what I loved about this implementation is it's not just about the replies and lost clients, but it's also about the metrics that you get. So with Rachel, you get instant replies to messages. In some cases, you get better impressions. Some people don't like AI, and I get that, and it's worse impressions. So I get that, but you get less client churn if someone's really calling for something and they can't reach a person. Which again, it was been my case in many cases. But the team, also gets to stay focused, so they don't have to get off the call to answer questions that they could really find on the website. But so it kind of allows you to use your team, your real team, the real people, in a way that is most productive. So I really do love the before and after. I guess I have time to talk about one more of our employees, and this is Sunny. So Sunny is your social media manager. He's always visible and always active, and we're gonna have some examples of each of these next week. But I just need for my people, that's you, all of you. I need for you to understand that an actual employee that could create content for you, that could schedule call to meetings for you, that can manage multiple platforms, that can be both creative and consistent and engaging, creating posts and captions and briefs and scheduling posts, right? And you talk to them, hey, I didn't like this one, right? So think about that, like having a conversation. They don't forget. So you're building and you're crafting the business of your dreams with employees that you don't have to pay. It's insane and wonderful. It's wonderful and insane. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving real quick. Okay, so Sunny, again, you think about the business value. Most businesses want brand visibility, right? Some type of engagement. So whether it's likes or shares or comments, but growing that engagement is really important. Who has time to do this? Sunny does, because Sunny don't sleep. Sunny don't forget, and he don't stop. Sunny has time. He's about lead generations too, turning your social media into a sales pipeline. Who has time for this? Sunny has time for this. Sunny also works with Penny, so they create blog posts. He also works with Stan with warm leads to sales. So they all work together, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, I got a few more minutes. Here's a real world impact with Sunny. And I'm going to so I've only gotten through 3 of these, so I'll pause after this one. I'll go to the end. So before Sunny, you either had a few postings or no postings or invisible postings, but you had low reach and you had followers who were kind of there, but you really never really engaged them. So you kind of lost followers too. They were like, she ain't serious. She ain't serious. She don't show up. But guess who shows up after Sunny? He's showing up. He has a daily presence. You're going to have higher engagement with the people who are already following you. You're going to have inbound leads. People are going to respond and comment, and he's going to be like, oh, you like that? Blah, 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 right? You're going to have a trusted voice, or you become a trusted voice. So I love this more than you know. So I'm going to skip to the end, and I apologize for blipping to the end. So I'm going to talk about Linda next time, but this is your team. Like I said, you have Ava, who's your executive assistant, Rachel, who's your front desk or your receptionist. We just talked a little bit about Sunny. We didn't even get all the way through, but Sunny is important and wonderful. Penny is going to be your SEO, your search engine optimization. She's going to help you with content so that when people are looking for your business, your brand, they find you. Right. Stan is the man. Stan's a brother. He's in the sales closure. He's going to close the leads. Right. And then, Linda is your legal assistant. If you think about those documents that you need, like, proposals and invoices, things that are legal in nature, she helps you, but she can also help with grants. Whisper. Eva helps with grants. I'm going to show you guys that probably next week. I think I'll probably do that next week. I'll go deeper and show you what Eva and Rachel and Sunny can do. Maybe that's how I do it, because it's a lot. You guys are probably like, dang, that's a lot. It's a lot. So maybe I'll just show you guys a little bit more about what they do. So if I just took those 3 employees and you saved 20 plus hours a week, you were able to automate all these repetitive tasks. And these people are always on. I'm calling them people because they're the most human-centered AI employees. Not tools, AI employees. You get to scale without hiring people. You get to grow your business without adding headcount. And they're consistent, they're professional, every task, every time, right? They don't sleep, they don't forget, and they don't stop. Come on, somebody, help me out. So this is the last slide, and I really wanted to share this because I get to offer you 25% off of Marvelism. And when you go to ai.marvelism.com, you can scan this QR code over to the right, but it takes you to ai.marvelism.com. I'll have my producer put that in the chat. ai.marvelism. It's MARBLISM.com. So you go there. It is, you can learn more. But again, I get to offer you 25% off. That's not going to be on the website, but you enter code Dr. Traci. And if you want to talk to me and say, hey, this sounds good, but I need some more information, there's my LinkedIn QR code as well, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And again, I'm going to come here every week for free, and I'm going to provide you with these resources. Hopefully save you some money, save you some time, definitely help increase your revenue opportunities, definitely help you to be more efficient, definitely help you to amplify your impact. This is why I was put on this earth. So when I say I show up with a passion to say, I produce this presentation for you all. Like, I have a more detailed version, but I wanted it to be clear and simple. And I'm like, I did this for each of you because I believe in this tool. It's solution. It's not even a tool. It's a solution. It is the most human-centered AI solution on the market, on the planet, if I use the right language. So your Marvelism workforce, it is ready for you. The question is, are you ready? Are you ready to amplify your impact? Are you ready to show up in excellence? If so, here's how you do it. Now, I think I have some announcements today. Do I have announcements? Do I have announcements? I think we have some announcements. Maybe we have no announcements. Okay. So if we don't have any announcements, what I'd like to do is talk about the show that's coming on next is, again, my favorite sports show on radio, on community radio, and it is Lead Line Sports. It's the fastest hour in sports, and it's hosted by Pepe, Otis, and Michael Carter. Now, I promised these guys some AI too. So I'm going to get my butt into the studio. Now that I spoke about AI to the Washington State Coalition of African Community Leaders recently. It's actually probably about a month ago. And I was talking to them about AI and things that they could leverage, but it felt like I wasn't complete until I was able to truly offer them a tool to say, here's what you guys can use. It's super cheap and go forth and prosper, right? Because I feel like I was talking generically and here's AI and what it can do, but I didn't have anything to really get them activated. Now I do. I'm super excited. Again, the fact that I get to offer a discount to my community is incredible. And again, more to come. So next week I will talk about even more benefit for you. Like, how can you benefit from AI? This just happens to be one of the tools that I love, and we get it at a discount, and it's relatively inexpensive, and it will help you to amplify your impact. So that's all I got, y'all. I actually got more, but I'm gonna stop talking because I know we got to get to the next show. So if you want to reach out to me, my email is traci@livingpowerfullyapp.com. And I love you, and I can't wait to see you next week. Thanks.